Hi, welcome to the Wisdom Inspired Talk podcast. Thank you for joining me today. I am Yomi Akipelu, your wisdom coach, speaker, teacher, and author of Blow the Cap Off Your Capability and other books. In this podcast, I'll be sharing from the wisdom of wise men and women from ancient and contemporary times. We'll gain wisdom from books, biographies, teachings, quotes, and sayings of sages through the ages. So, let's dive right in. Today, I'll be sharing about comfort zones. But first, for a quote and a story. Nick Fujisik said, "The place between your comfort zone and your dream is where life takes place." Now for the story. Bill was on a roll. He had a great and secure job, annual bonuses, stock options, fringe benefits, comfortable lifestyle, all the works. Everything was on track. On Monday, January the 7th, 2008, at 3 p.m., the president of his company called him into his office for a meeting and fired him. Bill said his words sucked the breath out of him. He obviously had not seen this coming. He left the meeting in a dazed state and went home and curled up in bed in the fetal position for 3 hours. That event created the greatest amount of discomfort he had ever felt. The departure from his ordered life, but it forever changed his life for the better. Getting fired is never a good thing, but it can bring about a radical change which can bring the greatest amount of growth. In his TEDx talk titled, "Why Comfort Will Ruin Your Life," Bill Ekstrom explains that what makes you uncomfortable is the only way to grow. Only by discomfort do you continually grow. Now let me ask you this question. What dictates the size of a goldfish in its environment? I'll tell you. When a goldfish lives in a fishbowl, it is in a safe, comfortable environment. It is also a very limiting environment in a lot of ways and doesn't grow beyond a certain size for several reasons. However, when it is placed in a more robust environment like a pond, it can really grow to its full potential. Living in the big pond also means that it can be eaten, but this complex state of discomfort is how growth occurs. You are the goldfish. The environment in which you work, live, and play are the proverbial fishbowl that dictates your growth. Neil Donald Walsh said, "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone." Comfort zones are predictable. Science shows that anytime you continually do something or think of something in the same way, you'll eventually stop growing. And this applies to every living thing. Substantial growth occurs only in a state of discomfort. Unpredictability makes us uncomfortable, but this is the only place sustained and exponential growth occurs. You see, you'll never fly if you're too comfortable. You will never change that which you are willing to tolerate. But life has a way of making us move out. It's called discomfort. We must continually focus on making the next stretch. We must leave our comfort zone and stretch towards our true potential. To live a meaningful life, we must push outside our comfort zone. We must design a life that includes meaningful work, financial security, and a healthy family life. All these take work and a willingness to be flexible and creative, pushing outside our comfortable boundaries into uncertainty. Limiting ourselves to only what feels comfortable is self-sabotage. Pushing past our doubts is a spiritual battle. But when we begin to envision our possibilities, fear is inevitable, but it is not a stop sign. A meaningful life means saying no even when it is hard and saying yes to what is purposeful even when it is frightening. Someone said, comfort and convenience runs the life of unsuccessful people. To be successful, we must step outside our comfort zones and learn to manage pressures, stress, and challenges well. Otherwise, we will be limited. Pressures and stress are all parts of life. There is no such thing as a stress-free life. You cannot get rid of stress. You can only become better at handling it. When you approach stress in the right way, it can motivate you towards your dreams and goals. You will see that you don't really have a stress problem, you have a capacity issue. If you run from pressure, you will step away from the path of purpose and live an unfulfilled or dissatisfied life. So the key to increasing our capacity is to decide that we will allow God to work in us, in our lives, to stretch us beyond our comfort zone and enlarge our capacity to overcome challenges. A possibility is a hint from God. One must follow it. That possible path is God giving us an opportunity to make a difference. As we follow it, we stop asking ourselves what we are and start asking ourselves what we can become. What we did yesterday might be great, even awesome, but we don't put it on a pedestal. It is small in comparison with the possibilities in the future. So looking forward to greater accomplishments is what fills us with energy. Significance is birthed within each of us if we are willing to stretch. So let's stretch. The change and growth within us challenge us to make changes around us. And that is how we begin to change our world. Growth stops when we lose the tension between where we are and where we could be. Having less tension makes people less productive. You have to give up to grow up, says John Maxwell. Be motivated by the possibility of success more than the fear of failure. Trade-offs are opportunities for growth. While we don't always get what we want, we get what we choose. When we face the opportunity for a trade-off, ask this question: what are the advantages and disadvantages of this opportunity? Will I go through this change or will I grow through this change? Someone said, there is no comfort in the growth zone, no growth in the comfort zone. We must be aware of the gap that stands between us and our potential and let the tension of that gap motivate us to keep striving to become better. Don't choose comfort over fulfilling your full potential. If you plan on being anything less than what you are capable of being, you will probably be unhappy all the days of your life. You must realize that you will not reach your full potential if you are not willing to push yourself outside your comfort zone and break the mindset of mediocrity. So, face the tension that comes from stretching towards your potential. You see, there are two types of people in our world when it comes to the comfort zone. There are those who live in the comfort zone where they feel safe, and there are those who reach outside their comfort zone and grow and achieve more. In your comfort zone, life is monotonous. Everything is predictable. There is no potential to learn and grow. However, the moment you step out of your comfort zone, you are exposed to a whole new set of emotions. Emotions you never previously experienced. Some amazing, some downright hair-raising, but thrilling nonetheless. Outside your comfort zone, you are able to learn and develop. You understand your true self better. You become more self-aware. You discover things about yourself that you never knew. Strengths and virtues you never knew existed within you. Move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you're willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new, says Brian Tracy. Did you know that the paradox of the comfort zone is that people are uncomfortable in their comfort zone? They are bored, anxious, depressed, insecure, unhappy. There is no excitement in the comfort zone. On the other hand, we don't want you to live on the edge or in a risky, uncomfortable zone all the time, which creates constant anxiety and self-doubt. If you're too comfortable, then we're not productive. But if we're too uncomfortable and we're fearful and doubtful, then we won't be productive either. Therefore, we need to look for a productive discomfort where we are constantly challenged to stretch, grow, develop, or learn new skills. This requires stepping out, trying new things, consistently achieving small goals, and pressing on towards bigger dreams. Where do you need to push outside your comfort zone to pursue what is meaningful and timeless? Wherever that is, I say, go for it, because you are only confined by the walls you build around yourself. And that is all for today. Until next time, keep on growing in wisdom and maturity. Blow the cap off your capability. Be unstoppable. Be awesome. I'm cheering you on.